Hello, my name's Dana. I'm the Prairie Knitter. This is my knitting podcast, so I talk about all things knitting and yarn related. And if that's your cup of tea, then welcome. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to start off today with what I'm wearing. Moving into my works in progress. I don't have any finished objects to show you today. However, I did go to a yarn festival this past weekend, so I'll show you all my goodies that I got. So that's your thing, stick around. All right, so first off, I am wearing, this is called the Whitmore sweater. It is by Amy Loudon, and I knit it in Hidden Pond yarns in her Dreamy DK base, in the colorway Secret Garden. Yes, Secret Garden. It looks very different on different bases because this is an alpaca base, non-superwash. It does become a little bit more kind of like a watercolor. Like there, you can see the little bit of variegation here. It's kind of like a dusty gray pink color with, you know, some bits more pink, some bits more gray. Yeah, I enjoy it. Anyways, okay, moving on to works in progress. So I have been working on a couple of test knits. One in particular has been taking quite a lot of my time, and that is the Bloom Where You're Planted sweater by, her name's Haley. She is the graphic knits, right? If I'm wrong, I'll put the description there. So I have split for sleeves. I've currently got it on waste yarn at the moment, so you can see what it looks like. So it's got this beautiful lace down the front, some cables on the sleeve, some raglan detailing. Really interesting stitches, a lot that I've never done before, and it's really quite fun. But as you move down the body, we're getting into more chart work that goes all the way around, so it's going to get a little bit more intense for a bit. Then a break with the sleeves. So I have until October 1st to finish this, and it is currently September 10th, so I've got another couple of weeks, so I've got to get my butt moving on this one. So I'm knitting it in Hidden Pond yarns, fingering, so dreamy sock base in her colorway Evergreen Tree Farm. So that's the, do I have one? Yes, here it is. Ooh. Gorgeous green here. It's got some variegation, like a little bit of darker spot right there. It's so soft. And I am holding it with a Surrey alpaca yarn from Exploring Knits and Fibers in her colorway Fur. My own hair on it. So, yeah. Together they make this beautiful, like, it's such a dream to feel like this is the softest, squishiest thing ever. Really. I'm gonna maybe edit that out. That was hilarious. Okay, we'll see. All right, then I am working on another test knit. Now this one hasn't gotten very much love at all. We have a bit of a collar happening. Yep, that's all I've got so far. I'm working with size US 0 needles, so they're little toothpicks. So this one is going to take quite some time. It is called the Halftone Sweater or Pullover, Halftone, by Indigo Knits. It'll be released later this fall, the pattern. So I am holding it with, currently, this is a Lellabella lace weight cashmere yarn that I bought in Venice 10 years ago, and I'm holding it with a Rowan Kidsilk Haze mohair. I don't know the color. anyways. So the first half of the sweater is going to be orange, and then we get into some stranded color work in the middle. And then it transitions into yellow. So same combination, we've got the lace weight cashmere from Lellabella from Venice, and we've got the Rowan Kidsilk Haze mohair. So it's gonna look like that. I'm excited for it. So I'm going away to Italy in October for just about 2 weeks. So I'll be bringing this one with me. So this one will get a lot of love on the 8-hour plane ride, as well as like in the evenings and things when we're not really doing much out in Italy. So we're actually flying into Venice. So I'm hoping to go back to the Lellabella store and take my yarn with me. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let me just put that away. Okay, one more sweater that I am working on. It is one of my own designs. If you've been to my channel before, you would have seen that I've got this kind of sweater recipe that I keep knitting. It's got a very wide, almost like a boat neck to it, very oversized sweater. So I am knitting another one. Now usually I hold it a fingering weight alpaca with a suri. This one I'm changing it up a bit, and I've shown this before. I am using, this is a mohair, is it mohair nylon? It's a mohair, not a merino. Let's both start with them. Merino, tweed, and I'm knitting it on smaller needles than I usually do, so the gauge is slightly tighter. So I haven't written up the pattern just yet. I know some of you are waiting for it. I just want to see how this one turns out and see what gauge I want to put on the pattern before I start doing all of the math to grade it to different sizes. So we'll try that out. So this is done in Fireweed Fibre Co. They are a Winnipeg, Manitoba based yarn. I am in Manitoba, not in Winnipeg, but I am in Manitoba as well. This is the colorway Pinot Noir. Yeah. It's very different to me. I don't usually knit with merino, you know, I'm an alpaca girl. And you'll see that later on. I'm all about the alpaca. So it feels a little stiff, almost plasticky. Maybe it's a superwash. Maybe that's what's doing it. It's not scratchy or anything. It does make my eyes itch. So it gives me a headache. I don't really like working with it, but we'll try it out. We'll see. But nothing's gonna make me give up my alpaca. All right, I think I showed that project before, but I was doing like a wide neck band on it, and I've ripped that out, started from scratch, doing my classic wide neck sweater instead with that, and I hope to get that finished this week. All right. So having been to this yarn festival and seeing all the farmers and all the beautiful alpaca yarns that they brought with them reminded me that last year I bought some alpaca yarn from one of the farms there, and she had it back this year, and I had actually started knitting a sweater with it, and it was one of my abandoned whips that I always meant to get back to and just haven't yet. So I brought that out after I'm finished that tweed sweater. I'm going to give it some love and hopefully get it finished. I want to try it on. Let's just show you it. So this is the Lube sweater by Petite Knit. As you can see, it's got a turtleneck on it. If you know me, you know I like the wide neck. See, wide neck. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like the alpaca, I know I like the alpaca. I'm not sure I'm going to like the turtleneck. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to take it off the needles, put it on some waste yarn, and try it on. see what I think of the neck. If I don't like that, I will rip it out and start again, but it feels amazing. Oh. So I hope I like it and then I don't have to redo all this work, but let me show you the yarn. So this is a sport weight 100% alpaca by 100 Fold Farm. There we go. From an alpaca named Jasper. So I've got a lot of Jasper yarn. She had this yarn, like I said, back this year, and I was like, oh, I've got Jasper already. So hopefully I have enough, but if not, I know she's got more. Okay, that is it for whips. Let's get into the yarn goodies. So if checking out a yarn haul isn't your thing, that's okay, I totally understand. Thank you for joining in so far. But if you want to see all the yarn goodies that I got at the festival, stay tuned. I will also be putting in some footage from the festival at the end. Now, I didn't take as much footage as I anticipated doing. It was very crowded, very busy. I pulled up into the driveway. I was about 15 minutes after the festival ended, and that parking lot was pretty much full already. There's just people everywhere. It was so hectic and busy, which is great. You know, I'm glad there's that many people interested in the fiber arts here. So wonderful. It was a huge festival, bigger than it's ever been. I've been going to it for several years, and it was so many more vendors than usual this year, and bigger booths with lots more yarn. There's always sheep and alpacas that the farmers will bring and put on display. There's shearings, things like that go on. It's usually in the building. However, this year, because there were so many vendors, they had it outside. So it was huge. So I got some footage of the animals. I'll put that in for sure, but as far as the booths and everything, like the interior, I didn't really get much there. My apologies for that. I kept telling myself, I'm going to take some, I'm going to take some, and then I just got distracted by all the yarn. I also bumped into a few people while I was there. One of them, Patty. Hi, Patty. Hope you're watching. I've known Patty for about 18, 19 years. She was my student advisor for my first degree. So when I graduated high school, I went straight to university and I got a degree in theatrical production. So a lot of people think, oh, theater degree, actor. No, full production side. I did not do a single acting course at all. My main focus was stage carpentry or stagecraft. So that's where you build all the theater sets. So that was my honors degree, was in stagecraft. I also did a lot of work in lighting, and I do some work around Winnipeg still in theater here and there. There's something called the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. So I was a venue technician for that for about 11 years. Ever since the pandemic, though, I stopped doing that, so I'm kind of retired from theater now. After I finished my theater degree, I went over to the University of Manitoba and got my degree in my healthcare field instead. Graduated there. Now I work in healthcare instead, running my own private practice, but started out in theater, so that's where I met Patty. So she was there with all her beautiful embroidery, needlework. So I'll put in some footage of that as well. And then I bumped into another knitter. Her name is Diane. She has a YouTube channel called what is it called? My Pink Bathtub. Interesting name. If you want to know the story, go check out her channel. She'll explain it. I'll put a link to her channel down below. Didn't really get much footage of that. I think I took like a candid video of her. Maybe I'll run it by her first to see if she'll allow me to put in that footage in my video. Otherwise, like I said, go check out her channel. She did a video with me in it and put up that video already and gave me a shout out, so thank you for that. If you're joining me from her channel, hello! Thank you for coming. There was a little sneak peek of my haul in that video, so let's get on and show you what that is. So, I walked in. I always go to the right first and go up and down the aisles. So first farm, and I kind of bypassed a lot of the vendors, and I feel really sad about that. I wish I spent a little bit more time just looking at all the pretty stuff, but I was on a mission. I wanted to find some black alpaca. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go walk through the aisles, check out all the alpaca stands first, and then I'll come back around. By the time I finished my first round and visiting all the alpaca stands, my arms were full, my bags were full. Like, I'm sore from carrying all that yarn with me. So I didn't end up doing a second lap. Right, so my first stop was over at, they're called Perimeter Alpacas. She had these wonderful alpaca. I'm not sure the weight of it. It is 200 grams, 475 yards in 200 grams. So what is it? What would it be? 100 grams would be like I don't want to do the math. 2.5, we'll call it. 250-ish, just under, yards. So what would that be? Would that be like a worsted or a DK? No, that'd be a DK. Yeah, it's about a DK. Okay, we'll call it a DK. Sorry for that. So I got this beautiful dark brown. I got sweater quantity, so I can do a full sweater in this dark. Then I bought it in a lighter, got some hair attached there, lighter color. And a medium. So the lighter one, I do have sweater quantity of the lighter. However, she only had one of this beautiful tawny color. So I bought it. I'll use it for maybe some color work or an accessory. But I love, all the alpaca that I got undyed. It's just their natural color. You get such a range of color from white to black. You got grays, you got browns, you got tawny, everything in between. So huge variety of colors. I'm going to have a lot of beige, brown sweaters coming to you in the next few months. So let's take a look at those together. Gorgeous. One thought I had, I do want to knit, what's it called, the Twig Sweater. I'm not sure who it's by. Let me quickly check it out. Oops, sorry. Come on. There it is. By Yoko Okamoto. Yoko Okamoto. Let's see if I can get a good picture of it. There. It was all over colorwork, so I'm thinking these two maybe, but I think it's a fingering weight. It's like 30 stitch gauge, which I'm gonna have to use like 000s to get that. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe something else. Anyways. Then I kept on walking, and we got over to the Enchanted Grove alpacas. And got this beautiful tawny. It is so soft. This is probably one of the softest skeins that I got. So really looking forward to this one. Love this color. She only had 4 skeins of it, so I hope I can get a sweater out of that. Usually I need like 450 grams for a sweater typically. So 450 grams typically for a sweater. So 400 is a little bit cutting it. So it might be a bit of a cropped, maybe bracelet length. We'll see, we'll see. I just love it. All right. Where else did I go? Okay. then we checked out 100-fold Farms again. So she had this beautiful kind of white alpaca. She says it was very difficult to spin. Oh, 1 second, I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. My partner is home this weekend, so he's been puttering around in the garage, and he just came inside to get his laptop. So anyways, where were we? We were showing you this beautiful yarn from 100-fold Farms. So it's this beautiful white alpaca, but it's got texture, and you see it's thick, thin. So I'm thinking for this one will be like just a plain stockinette sweater and just let the texture of the yarn shine through. So I got sweater quantity of that, and it is an alpaca. It's a worsted weight alpaca named Luna. So this is Luna. All right. Then we kept on walking around. And where did we go next? Okay. We made it over to, let's do this. So there was one booth that had 2 farms in it. So one was Circle O Alpacas. And this one here. Burton Alpacas. So I got, and they had so much alpaca. They had it laid out by weight. So they had lace weight, fingering weight, DK, sport, DK, worsted, bulky, galore. And then they had buckets of it underneath the tables too. So she's like, if you need more skeins, we got more underneath. I went crazy. I went back 3 times. So I went there on my first round. Then I walked around a bit some more, met up with Diane and Patty, and then I kind of took stock of what I had already to see, what am I missing? What do I have? I didn't have a lot of the medium browns, so I went back again, got a couple more browns, and then I got home and I kept dreaming about some of the yarn, and there was a couple sweaters that I had purchased the patterns for already because there was a sale on. So I looked at those. Oh, they needed worsted. I didn't buy any worsted weight, so I had to go back the next day. So it was a 2-day festival. So I went back on the Saturday and got some worsted weights. I'll show you that as well, but let's start with this one. So we've got this medium brown. A DK weight alpaca, so sweater quantity of that. I don't know, maybe a cabled sweater. We'll see. Then we got this. This is from Burton Alpacas. Darker chocolate brown. This is an alpaca silk blend, so it's 90% alpaca, 10% silk. So it is just very soft as well. You can see it's kind of got that little heathered effect and a little bit of shine to it because of the silk content to it. So this is a sport weight. So I got sweater quantity of that, maybe another cabled sweater. We'll see. Just give you comparison of the colors here. So one's a little bit darker. All right. Then, as I mentioned, I wanted some black alpaca. Now, I don't want to knit an entire black sweater, so I didn't get sweater quantity, but I did get 2 different weights of black alpaca yarn to do to use for some color work. So the first one I got here is a sport weight, 100% alpaca from Circle O Alpacas. And then we got a DK weight. Yeah. DK weight black. So you can see there's a slight difference to their spin. I don't know, when it's on the shelf, I can see a difference. The color is a little bit different as well. So definitely two different black alpacas. One's got a slightly warmer tones, a little bit of brown to them, and the other one's just a pure black. There's been lots of sweater patterns that I've seen online that have little black accents in the color work, and you can't really dye alpaca black. It just, it you know, kind of goes bluish, kind of goes purplish, you know. It's not like a straight black, but alpacas come black, so we got some black. So happy. And one more from that day. So from Burton Alpacas, we got this gray. So it's kind of like a dark medium gray. A little bit of a heather in there, a little bit of black, a little bit of white, kind of creating this gray. So sweater quantity of that, so gray sweater coming your way. Then I went back the next day to get some worsted, because as you can see, none of that was worsted weight, and the sweaters that I want to do are worsted. So we went back and got sweater quantities of these three. So you can see we got a white creamish color from Circle O Alpacas. Then we got a tawny kind of light brown from Circle O Alpacas. And then we got a dark chocolate brown from Burton Alpacas. All of these, there were 200-gram skeins. So we're going to do some color work. I am thinking what is it called? Bjork. Yeah, the Bjork sweater by Woodlands Knits. And this, so let me just grab my phone. Nope. Oh dear. I lost my phone. I haven't moved. It's got to be here somewhere. Anyways, I will put a link to the Rivalry page for the pattern, so you can go and check it out, but it is colorworks. So main color, accent color. Then Woodlands Knits also has another one called the High Peak Sweater. So I'm going to use this one as the base. It's got some white bits. And on the sweater she had some black, but I'm going to do the dark brown. So I'm just going to use like a little pinch of this one. There's not a whole lot of the dark on it, but I'm hoping I'll have some left over. Like I said, each of these is 200 grams, or 200 grams of worsted weight. So I'm thinking I can get away with like 2.5 of these for a sweater, so I should have half a skein left for a bit of color work. If not, I know where the farms are. I can buy some more. Hopefully I won't need to because I spent enough. Anyways, this last one that I showed you here is a worsted weight 100% alpaca from Circle O Alpacas. Light and fluffy. Anyways, I don't know if you counted, but that is a lot of yarn. One more thing I purchased as well. So at 100 Fold Farms, she also makes pillows. Now, I had purchased one of her pillows before and I showed it on my channel. So she had some more pillows there during the festival. She made a couple more. And I got this one. So now I've got two. Slightly different, they're cousins, right? Anyways, I think they go well together. Super excited. She does rugs as well, but didn't get any of those. Anyways, that that was my yarn haul. A lot of browns, a lot of neutrals. So a lot of neutrals coming your way in the future. Anyways, I'm going to put in some footage from the festival here. I hope you enjoy it. I got to get back to chopping apples and doing some canning because it is harvest season here, and I got beets still in the ground and a bunch of carrots still in the ground. So I'm going to be quite busy for the next few weeks working on that before my Italy trip. Anyways, I will be back before my trip to show you my progress, and we'll talk to you then. Bye. Alright, me again. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you who was joining us. Sorry for all those Odette lovers out there, but she's been here this entire time, I swear. Yeah. Thought I'd show her. Sorry about that. Alright. Bye.
flip through the book here, there's lots of different things to see in the book. So this is a placemat that has hem stitching and heart hanger on it, and these are sort of pulled thread posters. This is called Cashmere. That's a little owl star. Yeah, isn't it cute?
My
Shirley
favorite,
taught me how to do that.
my favorite animal is owls.
Yes, me too. They're smart. This is all just little things.
I like this.
More Castle Baby. And if you come around the corner, this is fun. This is called Castle Baby also, which is very small. It's all really soft. This is paper. This is my COVID project because it's very, very fine, and I have to take my glasses off and face it up to my face. And this is called Sashiko. And this is called Fireweed. I love this piece.
That's fun. Oh, wow.
I enjoyed that. I did that during COVID too. And that's called canvas work. So these are all techniques that, I mean, needlework is not just cross stitch and petticoat, right? And that's black work, even though it's in color. You can do whatever you want with it nowadays. And this is just a little fabric. So all of these things are I'm so excited.
Oh, so beautiful.